Hi everyone, and welcome back to Amy's Art House. I hope that you are finding cool shows to watch, fun games to play, and neat crafts to make. It has been a minute. I have not been on the microphone in about a year. If you're new here, hi. I make anime and Pokemon related crafts, mostly painting and paper craft. But yeah, I've been kind of on a bit of a break. It was not intended. I am back. I wanted to paint a few things from shows that I've been enjoying this summer and just kind of catch up and talk about like where I've been and what I'll be up to next. So these three paintings are from Rent-A-Girlfriend, Darling in the Franxx, and Parasite the Maxim. I recently got a Crunchyroll subscription again, and I just have been kind of like catching up on things and watching things that are a little bit older now. I know Rent-A-Girlfriend is currently airing, but the other two are quite old. So yeah, wanted to make some fun paintings for that. Of course, while I have this Crunchyroll subscription, please let me know down in the comments if there's something that I absolutely must check out. I love a good cutesy rom-com type show. I also like fantasy, sci-fi, or at least right now, I'm really on a bit of a fantasy kick. So yeah, let me know in the comments if there are any shows you're really enjoying right now. Speaking of being on a fantasy kick, I recently bought the game Hades. It's been out a few years, but it's like about Greek mythology, and it's been so fun. I just love like watching all of the like Olympian gods like interact and seeing all of their relationships. It's super interesting to me. I constantly find myself on like Wikipedia pages, like looking up Greek mythology because I've forgotten a lot of the stories from when I was younger. And then along that vein, I watched Sandman on Netflix, which also has a lot of Greek mythology in it. And I was just like super pumped about it. I was so happy. But enough about the fun shows and games and stuff I've been watching. Yeah, I've been gone a year. Nothing particularly good or bad happened. I just left for milk one day and never came back. Like, I am so sorry. But I'm back now. I burned out in September. I had a lot of ideas for paintings, and I know I had made over 100 Pokemon paper crafts at that point. And I just burned out. And it wasn't just that I like burned out with YouTube, I was just generally burned out. So I ended up changing jobs, started leaving the house a lot more, and yeah, just been doing the normal general life things. Since I switched jobs, it's taken a long time to kind of get acclimated and like understand all my new tasks and everything, and I finally am at a point where I feel like it's going really smoothly, and I was like, okay, you know what, I have time to hop back on YouTube a little bit. I think I'm always going to be making content. It's like something that I really enjoy. I think it's just going to be different, like, I'll be making different types of content. Sometimes it's going to be shorts, sometimes videos. I don't really know what my plan is. It's just as long as I'm creating, I am pretty happy, so I will be around in some capacity in the near future. I will definitely be making some shorts of these paintings as well for those that are not as interested in watching the full time lapse. So these three paintings, they took in total, I think 6.5 hours. So this time lapse is at like 6.5 speed. Yeah, I think I'm getting faster at making paintings than I used to be. I think I'm getting more used to the process. I think I've made about 10 or 11 anime and cartoon portraits now. And for these, what I do is I take a projector and I project a still image onto the canvas, trace it with pencil, and that's how I am making these. Obviously the colors are not going to perfectly match my reference images. A lot of the colors I'm mixing by hand, but yeah, it's pretty fun to take my own spin on the still images and see what I can make. I've said it before, I am really not very good at drawing. For some reason with papercraft, I can do okay with shapes, but I just feel like I lack some of the like spatial awareness to draw my own images, so still images it is. I know it's super trendy still to paint on glass and then like you flip it over and then like there's the anime scene. Those are really cool. I think the lines are super clean on them compared to me working on canvas, but canvas is what I've known. It's what I'm comfortable with, so I've just kind of stuck with it. It definitely has some imperfections that way, but that's what makes it unique. And now that the Chizuru painting is done, time to move on to 02 from Darling in the Franxx. I have to say, Rent-A-Girlfriend is a show that I kind of hate watch. I find everyone so frustrating on it, but I can't stop watching it. Darling in the Franxx was not the same type of experience. That was my first mecha anime that I watched, and I really liked it. I think that they jumped the shark a ton, but since it's anime, I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna go with it. I don't have anything better to do today. I will just go with it and suspend my disbelief. But I like the character design for 02. She's a really cool character with her horns and everything. So I wanted to do a quick painting of her. I think that I watched all of Darling in the Franxx and Parasite the Maxim within the same, week. I don't know how I managed it. It's so many hours, but yeah, 1 week in July, I just watched a ton of anime. I'm trying to think what I've been up to in August compared to my very busy anime watch schedule of July. I've been hiking a lot and biking. My asthma's a lot better, so if my asthma medications are working, I can go and be active and outside, which is wonderful. I've also kind of cut back on my work hours. I was working a ton in the spring because it's always been my dream to make Amy's Art House an actual house, to buy real estate and be this is my art house, even if it's just a residential property where I fill it with paint. But I've kind of realized that I can't make that happen just yet, and it's not my fault. It's just kind of how things are. And if you are also a millennial or Gen Zer that's really looking to buy your first home, solidarity, I am with you. It is tough out there. I am trying to put money aside for other things. I have some travel plans for 2023, which I know is a little ways away now, but yeah, I'm trying to keep my dreams within what I can dream in this moment. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy to make art and to play games and watch TV and movies that I enjoy and spend time with my friends, but yeah, I do have some bigger dreams than just my hobbies, including a little house. It doesn't have to be a big house. It can be 800 square feet or less, and I just fill it with paint. I don't even need a living room sofa. That's the plan. My living room, studio space. Spare bedrooms, studio space. Each room will be for a different type of craft. There'll be a painting room, a paper room, and maybe a video editing room. I don't know. My dreams are maybe a little weird. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Wrapping up the 02 painting, Chef's Kiss, love her. She looks amazing. I am really happy with how this one turned out. It was very simple compared to Chizuru. There's not as many color gradients. The eyes are a lot simpler, so this was a nice one to do after Chizuru as a bit of a break. And then for Parasite the Maxim, I paint Shinichi. I feel quite odd in my anime selections for this video. It's we're going from kind of more shallow eye candy anime into existential questions anime, because that is exactly what Parasite the Maxim is. I feel I really slept on this one. I should have watched this years ago. It came out the same year as Tokyo Ghoul, and I remember at the time I loved Tokyo Ghoul. It was my favorite body horror anime, because that seemed to be a thing that year, body horror stuff. And then I don't know what happened, that I think I got into K-dramas for a while, and I wasn't watching as much anime. So it's nice that I came back around and found Parasite, because I loved it. If you don't know the plot, it's about a space creature that it's one of those brain-eating people things. Oh, I can't think of the name. There's an old movie. It's Body Snatchers or something. I'm not explaining this well. So they take over a person's body, the host, and then in Parasite, the main character, the parasite doesn't successfully take over his whole body. It lives in his hand, and then they have to coexist and talk to each other. And it was a great look at humanity. I did not expect to think so much watching an anime, but I was still glad that I did. I'd be interested to read the original anime. So I think the manga, or read the original anime, read the manga. I think it came out back in the 80s. So I'm kind of interested in like what the style is like and stuff. I did Google some images from it and it looked pretty spooky. But yeah, I highly recommend it. Out of these three, go watch Parasite if you have not yet already. I'm constantly cleaning up the audio as I do this voiceover, and I can just hear myself getting more and more comfortable with being back. I have really overthought returning to YouTube and like, oh my god, what would people say? I've been gone so long. And honestly, it's like, I don't think anybody cares that much. Like, maybe a few people really missed me, but no one's gonna be absolutely livid that I took a break. A few months ago, I sat down and I tried to film like a video of just me talking about like what I've been up to, and it just felt like one of those stereotypical like big YouTuber apology videos, and I was like, I can't post this. What am I apologizing for? You know, when some of the major YouTubers come on and they're apologizing for like literal crimes, like, no, I don't need to do that. I'm sure that others can relate with that social anxiety of, oh my gosh, I've been gone. What will they say? I tend to overthink a lot, for sure. And it's so funny because I went and I listened to some of my old videos, especially when I was making Pokemon every week, and I would come on the microphone like regardless of my mood or what was happening. There was one particular video where I was like, my car broke down and I'm having the worst week, and then I was like, why am I overthinking coming back? Like, I sound miserable in this, and nobody called me out on it. Like, the people that wanted to come tune in accepted that this was where I was at and were nice. And I think that's one of the nice things about the crafting community, especially in this like kind of nerdy realm of Pokemon and anime. I've just met a lot of really nice people, and yeah, find your niche and be comfortable there, and when you take a break, like, don't feel bad about it. That's my main message, I guess. In my time away, I ended up not watching videos by my peers either, which I'm sorry for that as well. Every time I would log in, I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's so productive and I'm doing nothing, and I just like made myself feel really bad. So I missed a lot of content, and yeah, I can't feel bad about it now because the break is already done. I already did it, so. For Shinichi here, I kind of regret some of the paints I used. I was trying to use up some old cheap paint, and I used it for like his shirt and his hair, and it's like way glossier than the other two paintings, especially now that it's dried. It's still very glossy in comparison. I know acrylic paint is naturally a bit glossy, but like, it's glossy. He looks greasy. But lesson learned. I don't know what I'll do with those paint tubes. Maybe use them for paint pour or something. We'll see. Oh, that was the other thing I did while I was gone from YouTube. I made like 30 paint pours. I think people know what I'm talking about, but yeah, it helped me kind of get over my burnout and my perfectionism and just watch the paint flow. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am very happy to have some new content for everyone. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all again soon. Bye!